Hi guys, Michelle here. Welcome back to the Traveling Epicurean. Today we're cooking with my friend Christine. You probably recognize her from this spring when you did that Mediterranean layer dip.
One of my favorites.
That was so delicious with Lisa. We had so much fun that day. Yeah. And she's going to share her amazing eggplant lasagna. I'm very excited about lunch today.
Yes, but it's not just any kind of eggplant lasagna.
That's right. It's paleo eggplant lasagna.
And for those of you who don't know, paleo is a particular diet that restricts carbs, grains, and dairy.
Yeah. So it's a very healthy diet to follow.
Very fresh and healthy.
I love it. All right, well, why don't we show everybody what we're going to need to get this going?
Yes. So obviously we're going to start with eggplant, and depending on how much you make will depend on how much you buy. Okay. But I typically recommend getting 2 eggplant. Then we're going to do kind of a take on a bolognese sauce. So it's ground pork, 1 package, ground lamb, 1 package, and ground veal, 1 package.
Ooh, that's a nice combination.
Now, if you don't like any of these or want to switch it up and do different, you could do ground beef, you could do ground turkey. There's a lot of ways for you to customize it based on your health needs and your taste needs.
Sure.
We're also going to have some eggs because we're going to be dredging them in eggs, and then we're going to be battering them in almond flour. Which is basically the paleo alternative to regular flour. Okay. And it's basically ground almonds.
Sounds great.
And then, of course, salt and pepper to taste.
Okay, well, I'm your sous chef today, so you got to put me to work.
You got it. Let's get started.
So I love how you're salt and peppering them right out of the package. That's such a great idea.
Absolutely. First of all, it cuts down on the mess, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
And, all meat needs to be salt and peppered. It just needs the flavoring.
For sure.
You don't want to overdo it, but you want to put it enough that it brings that richness to your dish.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start browning. I have a couple of teaspoons of grapeseed oil in here, which is also paleo friendly. Okay. It's one of the oils that is not genetically modified or engineered in every way. It's just pure grapeseed oil. It is a healthier alternative to your canola oils and your vegetable oils, which I don't even know what's in them. So I'm starting by browning the ground pork. I like to do the meat separately because I want it to keep its own flavor until we mix it into the pot. I also don't want to put too much meat in the saucepan at one time.
Gotcha.
It's harder to cook. It's easier to do the 1 pound at a time.
It's easier to brown that way too.
Yeah. And I also am going to drain the fat after this as well. So I'm going to call this good enough. If it's not completely browned enough, that's okay because it's going to continue to cook in the sauce, and it's also going to continue to cook in the oven. You just want to get it most of the way there so a lot of fat comes out and doesn't have that extra oil to your food.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drain this now.
And that sauce looks amazing.
That's my mama's recipe. I can't tell you what that is. Okay, I'm not going to add any additional oil because as you can see there's still some oil in there from the previous cooking, and there's just no need to add extra. It's nice kind of a seasoned pan now, so no need to add more oil. And we're just going to repeat the process. Okay, now that the lamb is done browning, I'm going to take the pork that's been draining all this time, and I'm going to add it to the sauce.
Okay, so as you brown them, you add them after they're drained.
Correct.
Each one sauce.
It kind of gives you enough time that it drains while you're browning, and then you just go on to the next meat. Exactly. All right, we're going to go ahead and peel the eggplant. Okay. So basically, to make it easier to peel, I cut both ends off.
So we want to do 2 eggplants?
Yes, we're going to do 2.
So is there anyone in particular that you like here?
No, if you see one that's calling to you, grab it.
Michelle!
Usually chocolate calls to me, and wine, not eggplant. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to cut them about like this.
So it's definitely more on the thin side.
Definitely on the thinner side.
So have you been following paleo for years, or is this something that just came about?
I have. I've been doing paleo for about 2 years. It started when I started working out at CrossFit.
Okay.
The CrossFit community embraces obviously a healthy lifestyle because you're working out, you're trying to stay fit, and part of that obviously is what you eat.
Sure.
Now I'm not going to lie, it took me a year of going to CrossFit before I went paleo. So once I decided to go paleo, I really enjoyed it because it's a really fresh way of eating. All of your ingredients are fresh.
Yeah.
Nothing is manufactured. Nothing has preservative in it. Yeah. It's all, if it grew, if it swam, if it flew, if it ran, you can eat it.
If the caveman didn't eat it, you can't
You don't eat it. Like, I don't think cavemen are eating Doritos.
No, though I don't want anybody messing with my dairy or my beans. Different variations of the paleo. Some people add maybe aged cheeses, like Parmesan I've read.
Yes.
I mean, a strict paleo, there's no dairy.
There's no cheese.
Okay.
But, you've got to live your life. It has to be easy. It has to be convenient.
Sure.
If you want to eat cheese once or twice a week because you just feel that need, why torture yourself? Go ahead and do it. It's your cheat day cheese.
Your cheat day cheese. I can live with that.
There you go.
Because you're going to go egg and then the breadcrumbs.
Going to dip it into the almond flour.
Sorry, not breadcrumbs, the almond flour.
Almond flour. Bread is a no-no.
Bread is a no-no. Now, I read that the almond flour is actually blanched almonds. They remove the skins.
That's correct.
And then it's finely ground, right?
Yes, it's basically a paleo substitute for flour. They do have almond meal, which has the skins still on them.
On it, right? And that's coarse ground.
That's coarse ground. It's better for baking. So if you're making cookies or substitute for a graham cracker crust, things like that, because it's got the texture and the moisture.
Yeah.
Queen, I don't know about you, but I hate scrubbing these things.
I hate scrubbing them too.
When this gets hot and turns brown and black and trying to scrub that off, I don't have time for that. So we have coconut oil. There's no real wrong way to do this. If you want to dredge it not so much, fine. If you decide you don't really want to use a ton of almond flour, you just want to sprinkle a little in there to give it a little bit of crunch and a little bit of texture, that's fine too. I kind of like it to emulate a crust, so I like it to have a little bit more. It holds onto the sauce nicely. It helps the eggplant stand up to the cooking. It just adds a good texture overall to the dish.
And I love the fact that you're baking it. It just takes so much work out of it.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean,
I even bake my meatballs.
I do fry my meatballs because I think all of my relatives would roll over in their Italian graves if I didn't fry the meatballs. But I do those for the kids, and I also do actually baked paleo meatloaves for my husband and myself.
So we got two of us going, so it's going to go quick.
Should we start to go faster? Yes.
Okay. How about we move the breadcrumbs here?
You got it.
And then it'll be like a single file. There you go. I'm double timing it.
All right, see? She is efficient.
I can be productive.
See, this is the benefit of the clean hand. See?
I know. See, I'm double timing and I'm not keeping a clean hand there.
Multitasking.
I'm thinking that I'm saving time.
Well, you are, because there's two of us, right?
That's right.
You gotta take advantage of it.
So we may have Lisa stopping by.
Oh, I hope so.
When she heard you were making this paleo lasagna, her eyes lit right up.
Yeah, Lisa is a dear friend. She's wonderful, and she's always up for trying new things and trying different foods. So I hope she is able to make it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Go.
Now, do you need to spray the top of that with the canola oil?
No, I don't. Not necessary.
Okay.
Because you're really not looking for them to brown.
Yeah.
You're just looking for them to cook, get a little bit tender. Okay, so now it is time to put our eggplant in the oven. We're going to put it in at 350 for about 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull our eggplant out and begin our layering process.
Very good. This is the exciting part.
Okay. All right, so we have our pan here. And I'm just going to spray it again with the coconut oil to prevent things from sticking. So put your ladle in. Try not to get meat in there. I mean, if you get a little in, no big deal. Okay. But you just want to kind of create a nice little wet surface to lay your eggplant in. Exactly. Okay. So you would layer it like you would lasagna noodles. Look, perfect. And then again, if it's the wrong size, what I really like about the roundness is you can just kind of fit them in, do whatever. You want to cover as much of the area as you can, because this is acting as your lasagna noodle, for lack of a better description. Exactly. So you want it to get in there and soak up all this stuff. You don't want to feel like you're just eating sauce. You want to feel like there's some, some toothsome in there. Okay, so now we're ready to get some of the meat in there with the meat sauce. So I start with just a little spoonful.
Look at that. Oh my goodness, you're making me hungry.
I hope you brought your appetite. I'm going to go in for our next layer. And what I'm going to do is, because I kind of cut up a bunch of pieces and put them on this side, the next go around I'm going to make this my more solid side and put my cut up pieces on that side.
Okay, gotcha. So
I don't know why this makes me feel better. The bottom line is, what's great about this sauce is it all just gets soaked up into the eggplant, and it all just kind of turns into this big old lasagna, and it all gloms together, and it's gooey and ooey and warm and delicious.
So you said the sauce is your mom's recipe?
Yes, and her family's before her. I'm almost 100% Italian, and my grandma and grandpa come from Sardinia and Calabria.
Oh, lovely.
So sauce is in our blood.
Absolutely.
And this is our old family recipe.
Okay.
I have modified it a little bit to be less fattening. I think we can get one more out of here.
You do?
I do.
You're courageous.
I'm crazy like that.
I love it.
Because it's going to sink in. What you have to understand is the eggplant is going to suck the sauce in.
Okay.
And it's going to absorb it into the almond flour.
Lovely.
And it's just going to be Decadent.
I think that's Lisa. Oh, I'm so excited.
Just in time to eat.
Just in time. Smart woman. She knows when to show up.
You might have heard my doorbell.
Come on in, Lisa.
Oh, don't even film me.
Me too.
I can't believe you got another layer on there. Look at you. So you got it all in there. I can't believe you did it.
I got that extra layer in. Oh, I messed that up. Start again. Some more wine, nicely.
Okay. Take 2. Keeping the oven at 350?
Keeping the oven at 350.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Supposed to say action.
Action, Christine.
Okay, action. Okay. All right, so I believe we are done. And I'll tell you, another perk about putting this on the cookie sheet is it's really easy to take out.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that bubbling. Paleo Eggplant Lasagna looks amazing.
Okay, so let's cut into this and see how we did.
I think you did mighty fine there, Christine. Oh my goodness. It looks amazing.
Gonna get a little sloppy.
Looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oops, sorry about that. That was an
That's
ugly
okay.
cut. The first piece is always the hardest. With cakes,
No
with
matter
pies, with lasagna,
Yeah.
the first piece is always the hardest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But that looks incredible. Look how beautiful that is.
You know you're not going to get any of that, you silly baby.
Not for you, Kirby.
He's like, hey, it doesn't hurt to ask.
This is so amazing. Look how beautiful that is.
All right, let's give it a shot.
Cannot wait to try this.
Oh my gosh. It makes me feel like a snow day. You know, that warm,
Oh my gosh. Christine, this is absolutely delicious.
and it's healthy.
And it's very healthy for you. Wow. I cannot wait to make this.
I'm happy to come again and show you more recipes.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, you can find this incredible recipe at thetravelingepicurean.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
You're an amazing cook.
Thank you so much.
It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Ciao.
Ciao.